today's video we are going to be reacting to Zack videos. And if you like his content, then make sure to like and subscribe to him, I guess. Alright, so let's go. Wait, is there videos that he makes? Oh. Yes, let's check out the popular ones.
When you get stitches, a doctor threads a needle through your wound and pulls it tight to close the skin. As the stitches hold the edges together, the wound becomes inflamed as new cells begin to repair.
Wait, wouldn't that hurt though? Cause like, if you like squeeze it, doesn't like the wound like kind of like gets tighter and then it like, I'm just saying, can't that hurt?
The tissue. Afterwards, connective tissues and collagens start to create skin.
Hey, what the fuck, bro? What is it?
Then blood vessels
or maybe I'm just dumb.
Form to nourish these developing tissues, filling in the area. And over a few weeks, the wound will have healed together and the stitches are removed. When you get stitches...
Wait, I have a question though. Does the stitches like fall by itself, or you just go back to the doctor to take it off? I'm generally curious.
If you get a splinter, most people just go ahead and pull them out.
No, that's got to be one of like the worst thing to happen to you, bro. Imagine just like playing with your friends in the park and then just accidentally, like, imagine getting in your foot too, just accidentally, like, step on one, barefoot too. Oh my, bro, I remember that happened to me. That hurt so badly, bro. Anyways, let's just continue, bro.
But sometimes they get lodged so deep into your skin that you can't reach.
Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. But honestly, I just let it do that, cause, bro, I ain't trying to go through the pain, bro.
If the area gets infected, it will start to swell as pus forms on.
Oh yeah, but it can get infected though.
The skin. This creates pressure around the splinter that can sometimes push it upwards towards the skin's surface. And if you're lucky, after a certain period of time, your body could have completely removed it from your skin. If you get a... Have you ever noticed how odd the McFlurry spoon is? Well, some people think it's supposed to work like a straw, but you only have to try that once to realize it does not work. The true reason for these weird spoons is actually pretty genius. You see, McDonald's didn't want to clean their beaters after every McFlurry, so instead, they designed a spoon that would also work as the mixer. Have you ever noticed how odd...
Oh.
If you shot a bullet at ancient armor, some people think it could actually stop the impact. But armor like chainmail was designed to block slashing swords. And plate armor was even better at deflecting strikes, by spreading the blunt force across more area, lessening its impact. But these materials weren't very good at stopping arrows, which had enough energy to enter the armor. So a bullet would have no trouble going right through. If you shot a bullet at... If you somehow removed all of the blood...
Bro, that would never happen, bro. Plus, who are asking these questions? Because I swear, when I go to the comment section, nobody's asking these questions, bro.
Vessels in your body and tied them together. You might think it would be about this long, but the human body has thousands of these tiny vessels that weave in and out of every body part. And with all of them combined, if you started in New York, your blood vessels would make it all the way to the Grand Canyon. It would go on to reach all the way over Japan, Asia, and all of Europe. And not only would it make it all the way back to your starting point, but it would be able to make this trip 2 to 4 times over. When a doctor gives you a shot, They can sometimes accidentally push the needle all the way through your vein, which ends up puncturing both sides. Once the needle is removed, it leaves 2 holes in the vein. And before the body can thicken the blood and seal these holes, it bleeds into the surrounding tissues. This leaked blood forms a dark, tender area under the skin, creating bruises and splotchy areas. When a doctor gives...
And I thought being a doctor is the easiest job.
If everyone on Earth clipped their toenails and threw them into the ocean, you might think they'd float and blanket a huge area. But toenails don't actually...
Get out my room, bro. And sorry about that, guys. Let's just continue the video.
...float, so they would pile up at the bottom of the ocean, as over 82...
Bro, hold on. Who's even asking this question, bro?
Billion clippings rain down, it would choke fish.
Whoever did it in the comment section, bro. Oh my gosh, bro, you're so weird.
And smother the seafloor until a massive pile broke through the surface. And after this global clipping, you would have a walkable toenail island, 10 times bigger than Central Park. If everyone on Earth, when a firing squad shoots a prisoner, one of the bullets actually isn't real. You see, one of the rifles is loaded with a blank, but it still fires and kicks back when the trigger is pulled. The soldiers aren't told which rifle it is, casting doubt on who actually shot and killed the man. This way, the soldiers can feel less guilty and sleep at night, knowing there was a chance that they weren't the one to kill him. When a firing squad shoots a prisoner...
That's actually smart.
Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? It's one of those things where you know he can't actually be making the salt disappear, but it's still confusing to look at. Well, it turns out that the simplest explanation is the right one.
Wait, I already saw this. So, if the people, like, he just sticks his thumb out and then salt goes into it. So I'm just gonna see
if you lose one of your adult teeth, the bone where the tooth once was can start to deteriorate. To prevent further damage, a dentist will fill the cavity with a synthetic material that mimics real bone. Once filled, a metal bracket is secured on top and the incision is closed. After the...
Wait, so guys, that could mean that your teeth is actually, your adult teeth is not actually real. There might be a chance.
The graft has healed, a large implant post is inserted into the new bone. Then a small metal piece is screwed in, and a porcelain tooth...
Wait, that's actually smart though. Wait, is it like the real teeth that fell off? They just put it, like they just designed something and put it back on? So that means your teeth is real. Your adult teeth.
Is secured on top. If you lose one of your... They opened the pallet of ammunition only to find it was full of Tootsie Rolls. You see, Tootsie Roll was a code name...
Wait, that's a Tootsie Roll? Bro, I thought those were like little balls that they use to like make them drop on, like they go on the helicopter and they dropped it on the enemy and stuff.
For mortar rounds, which the Marines desperately needed. But the radio operator who received the order didn't know that and sent the actual candy instead. At first, the Marines were angry, but the sub-freezing temperatures had frozen all their food, and the candies ended up sustaining them over the next few days. They even used them to plug bullet holes by warming them up and letting them freeze in place. And eventually, the real mortar rounds did arrive.
Wait, that's actually smart.
They opened the if you accidentally touched a table saw, you'd...
Oh my gosh, bro, I swear. That would have hurt, bro. I swear, if that ever happened to me, just like at a party or something, bro, you'll be seeing me jump and scream and stuff, bro.
Probably think your fingers would be cut off. But this isn't always the case. You see, some modern high-end saws actually know the difference between wood and your skin. Once your finger comes in contact with these special saws, it immediately detects the electrical conductivity from your skin. This triggers an immediate mechanical response that stops the blade in less than 5 milliseconds. If you accidentally touch...
Ooh. Damn, bro, technology is actually getting pretty smart.
a table. When a honeybee stings a human, they actually get stuck for a while and can't leave. And this is because their stinger is barbed, which means it can't retract once it's lodged into something. But once the bee finally pulls away, its insides get ripped out because the stinger stays in the skin. This leaves the bee without some of its internal organs, resulting...
Oh, so you can just like smash it like, this. But that would be kind of like, ew, that would be, because then it would just splatter all over you. That would be nasty.
In its death. When a honeybee stings... Have you ever wondered about this little dangly thing at the back of your throat?
Yeah, I think that's... Wait, I know what it's called, but I just forgot.
Well, even though it looks like a miniature punching bag, it actually...
Yeah, actually does look like one.
Serves a handful of important functions. You see, when you swallow food, this thing called a uvula actually...
Yeah, the uvula. That's what I was trying to think, bro. Like, yeah, the uvula, bro. I think that's what helps you talk or something like that.
A red hot iron. Have you ever wondered about this little dangly thing at the back of your... swings backwards to prevent the food from going up your nose. It's also constantly producing saliva to keep the throat...
Wait, but isn't that kind of useless? Because then if it just goes... Like, it just can just fall and not actually go up. So...
throat moist, which aids in swallowing.
Or am I just stupid again?
And because there's a tiny muscle inside the uvula, it can move around, which helps you speak. Have you...
Yeah, I was trying to think about that too.
A red-hot iron is pushed into the tree, wounding it on purpose. Then a syringe filled with salt water is emptied inside the hole. If you stuck a long sword out of a car, aiming for a tree, the sword would obviously snap and rip from your hands. But what if the sword is unbreakable? You have an indestructible grip, and your body is physically immovable. Well, the force would then transfer to the car. It would screech to a halt as the sword hits. But what if the car can't stop and is forced to keep moving? Now the tree should split in half. But if the tree is indestructible too, with no way to break, bend, or stop, the energy has nowhere to escape. Would this unleash a massive shockwave as powerful as a nuclear explosion? Or worse, something reality itself isn't equipped to contain? If you stuck...
Wait, that's actually... Well, whoever asked that, they're actually smart.
If you're stuck in a water slide that's filling up with water, most people think they should try to climb back up.
Yeah, there's...
Imagine waking up in a coffin and realizing that you...
Bro, literally just like Mr. Beast did, bro.
Were mistakenly buried alive. Now, this wouldn't happen with the medical guidelines we have today. But in the 19th century, old coffins were found with scratch marks on the inside, making this a legitimate concern. So as a solution, they started adding strings inside the coffins that traveled up to the ground and were connected to a little bell. And if you woke up underground in a coffin, you could just ring the bell, signaling that you're still alive.
Oh, wait, what if it was like a zombie with no brains and just try to do it and then you just quickly dug up and then the zombie just bites it and then that's how the zombie apocalypse started? That would be like a stupid way. But that is smart. Yeah, I thought technology was fired, but it's actually recovering, I guess.
Imagine waking up in a... If you're trapped in the trunk of a vehicle,
Yeah,
you
there's so
should...
many shorts about this too.
When you use a derma roller, it pushes a bunch of tiny needles into your face, creating small punctures across the surface. Your brain perceives these small holes as wounds, which triggers your body's natural healing response. The body then sends out cells...
Wait, is that true? Because I low-key just, like, use them to roll in my non-existing beer.
to make collagen and elastin, which helps your skin stay firm and stretchy. Over time, these cells strengthen the skin, giving a firmer and more youthful appearance.
Oh, so I'm actually doing like a good thing. Or sort of.
A tiny nail is placed inside the drilled hole. Then it's glued shut and repainted. This makes one side of the die heavier, causing the opposite side to land face up more often, allowing you to cheat. Another method is heating the die slightly,
I got no words.
with the number you want pointing upwards. As it cools down, the melted part settles on.
Wait, low-key, that's how my friends will be cheating.
If you get a skin tag, some people think you can just rip them off yourself, but you actually shouldn't do this. You see, skin tags are connected to your body by a thin piece of tissue.
Yeah.
And if you looked inside of it, the tag actually has its own nerves and blood vessels. Ripping it off.
Oh, you know, we actually watched this one. So, yeah.
Have you ever wondered why the letter E isn't used to grade? Teachers use A, B, C, D, and F, but they skip E. Why is this? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. You see, back in the day, schools did use the letter E, but in the 1930s, they decided to stop after students and parents thought that it meant excellent. It was quickly replaced with F, because F for failed made more sense. Have you ever wondered why the letter...
Ooh. Wait, so why didn't they replace the A with E so it could be excellent? Because I don't think the A means like anything good to refer to the grade.
The soldier's foot would break through a hidden bamboo slat and into a hole if they stepped onto a cartridge trap. Inside, a bullet was positioned on top of a nail that...
Wait, so does the bullet like do damage then?
that was fastened to a wooden board. And when the soldier's foot hit this shell, it pushed the nail into the primer. This caused the shell to suddenly explode
Oh, wait, that's actually a good trap.
and shoot back up at the soldier.
But the only time I would use these against my friends to like prank them, is while using Nerf rifles. Cause I would not be doing this with a real bullet, bro.
When a tiny frog hops into a giant tarantula's burrow, it seems like it's walking right into a trap. But the spider checks the frog with its legs, and if the frog has the right chemical signals, it's safe. The frog helps by munching on ants that could attack the spider's eggs. In return, the tarantula becomes the frog's bodyguard, scaring off bigger predators. It makes the frog seem like a pet, but they're...
Wait, so doesn't that mean they can like make a child together like a spider frog?
really just tolerant roommates.
And anyways, that was it for the video, guys. See you in the next video. Peace.